What I'll do is, if you guys can just share the link on your Twitters, just to say that we're going live. I'll do it now on the Ringside one.
Cool.
Oops. Not the StreamYard link, just the YouTube link. Actually, let me send you guys the YouTube link. Have you got it? Or
the one that was tweeted a couple minutes ago, or 10:01. That one.
I'm sorry.
This one, where is it?
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat now. Yeah, the one that I just put in the chat now. Yeah, or the tweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get that now.
Let me go. Oh, what am I doing? No. Okay. Cool. Cool, let's go. Hello, welcome to another Ringside Fracas. My name's Lewis. I'm joined by Jide and Samson today. Good evening, gentlemen. How are you doing?
Not bad, not bad. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Got a fresh trim today. You know, I'm feeling kind of, you know, kind of wavy. Do you know what I mean? So
you're feeling buff, innit?
Yeah. Jide, when you gonna get a trim, eh?
This is the trim. You see it? This is the trim, man.
Yeah, what, you growing your hair out? Yeah.
You know the vibes, man. You should try it as well, Lewis, man.
Oh shit!
What the single plaits?
Well, just try out, man. You never know.
I don't know if it'll work with my hair. My hair's too thin. I'll try one plait, all the hair will fall out. I don't think my hair is made for that kind of shit, to be fair. But each to their own, you know. Each to their own. Guys, usual stuff. Ringside Fracas. Hashtag if you are listening via your Apple and Spotify and whatnot. Any interesting bits, hashtag it. Leave a review on Apple and 5-star only, please. If you're listening on YouTube, you know, or if you would like to listen on YouTube and you didn't know we actually record via YouTube, we go live every Thursday night. So if you'd rather listen to the live stream, feel free to tune into the live stream. We normally go about 10 p.m. depending on, you know, if we're early or late, you know, we don't know, but around 10 p.m. anyway. So yeah. And if you are listening via YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button. Helps us become more visible and all of that good stuff. Anyway, enough of that. Today we're going to be there's a lot to talk about because on the weekend, you know, one of our favorite fighters is fighting. You know, friend of the pod, Dazn Bentley. He's got a massive fight against Felix Cash coming up, and it's basically a 50-50 fight, right? This is going to be a really entertaining fight. Myself personally, I love Dazn Bentley's personality. I think he is so refreshing for the sport. You know, he is he's just you know, if you haven't listened to his episode on Ringside yet, I can't remember which, maybe like episode 5 or something like that. It was for me, that was my favorite Ringside episode so far. Because like his refreshing take was just, well, his take was so refreshing, I should say. Like he was just so he was a throwback kind of fighter.
He's a fan of the sport and he's carrying that fandom, I guess, into like his career. Like he wants to fight the fights and he wants to see the fights happen. So he has that outlook where he wants, you know, he wants to take on the best opportunity at the right time. So you got to respect him, man. It was really respectable to hear from him.
Yeah, 100%. What do we know about Felix Cash? Because they're both quite new in their careers. They're, you know, novices. Felix Cash didn't have a huge amateur background, did he?
No.
To the best of my knowledge. So,
No, they're
what do you
very,
guys know about Felix Cash?
so they're very similar in terms of like where their experiences. Obviously, Felix Cash is a bit more experienced than him, but essentially they both didn't have like massive amateur experience. They both going well in the pros unbeaten. What I will say is, looking at the weigh-in, Felix Cash is massive.
Yeah.
Do not know, not the weigh-in, but like the head-to-head when with Frank Warren.
Oh yeah.
He looks like he's 168, 175. He does not look like 160. Like his shoulders, his head, he looks massive. So it will be quite interesting to see if how Denzel keeps Cash off him, because Cash is a fighter that will get in your face and will stick it on you. And I like the storyline going into it is like they had a spar and apparently Cash beat him up or was dirty or whatever, and it spilled over into the road, into the street and whatnot. Like that.
I swear.
Yeah. That put. If you watch you guys should go back and watch the Frank Warren, the head-to-head, the promotion. Yeah, the week before. It's just been great, man. It's been great. That's why I know now this fight has a little bit of meat to it. So you know Denzel would want to probably knock him out. And because of that, he's probably going to take more risks. And he's going to give Cash more opportunities to try and get him. So this fight here, it's going to be 10 out of 10. I've been telling everyone, tune in, you got to watch it. It's going to be a great fight, man.
Yeah, 100%. I guess it's a fight that both fighters could have avoided, I guess.
I thought
maybe
I didn't think it would happen to me. If you remember when we had Denzel on, I was saying to him then, I don't really think they're gonna cash in that way, because he had the opportunity to kind of go like the European route, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So it was quite surprising that he just turned around and said, "Yeah, cool, he's taking a Denzel fight."
No, but that's what I like about British fighters, man. I always say like our prospects fight each other compared to like overseas. Our prospects fight each other early. Like more often than not, obviously it doesn't always happen, but more often than not, our prospects fight each other. Like we had the other week, Chris Congo, this fighting Mickinson. Like you will not see those sort of fights happening with other. Say he's an idiot. You will not see those. You'll not see those.
Bare stew stains on the singlet.
I was chopping that meat, bro.
He's an idiot. No, but yeah, like I was saying, you wouldn't see those sort of fights happening across the pond. Like they don't risk their prospects like that. But
true.
I like that. So the fact that
I say that they've all met each other already. Most of the prospects in US, they've all met each other in like the Golden
Glove. Yeah. That's why they avoid each other, and that's why I wait to get to Demetrius Andrade and how the 160-pounder is doing him. But essentially, that's what happens. They meet each other in the Golden Gloves in these tournaments. They see someone stick it on the other person and they're not on it. Remember before Broner fought Porter, Kenny Porter was like, my son's gonna beat him up. Broner was like, was bare quiet. He didn't really want the fight. He was forced to have that fight, and he wasn't the usual flamboyant Broner, because he knew when they fought and when they sparred, he wasn't talking crazy. He wasn't talking cash shit. Go back to that fight. Yeah, he wasn't talking cash shit.
I remember that, man. I lost money in that fight. I feel that was coming to the tail end of my gambling career.
Sam, you say this every week. Like, how much money did you actually lose on boxing?
I won a hell of a lot, but the L's that I lost hurt badly because I was not meant to lose.
Boy.
Like you guys said, look, this is definitely a fight that both fighters could have maybe prolonged down the road. Is it a bit like maybe not to the same extent actually, but is it a bit like when Coley fought Isaac Chamberlain, like that similar kind of timing?
Yeah,
whoever goes on, whoever pushes on.
Yeah. Winner goes on. I love that, man. I love that. That's the sort of thing.
Whoa! Where the hell is Chamberlain?
Fam, he lost and he's just been chilling. Man.
I don't know where Isaac Chamberlain is at all.
Wasn't he on? Wasn't it with Matchroom as well?
He left the minute after the. Yeah. After the. He left.
He hasn't fought since September 2020.
Shit, man, that's sad, man. I like Chamberlain. Chamberlain, you know what? This is why, as much as I don't like trying to pull down Okoli, because at the end of the day, he's done what he's done in it. Like he's done really well. But I thought Chamberlain was gonna beat him like comfortably.
What, Okoli?
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
I thought Chamberlain beat him
That's
comfortably.
what's funny. Leroy had that same opinion. Remember that?
I thought comfortably wipes him. It makes it look so basic. And even if I honestly thought that when Okoli loses, it's peak for him because he wasn't a fan-friendly fight at the time, and that would be it for his career. Essentially, he goes in the toilet. It's completely gone the other way. That is peak.
For me, Chamberlain was never going to win that fight. Like, he was just too small. He was way too small. And even though Okoli spoils, I was like, that's exactly why he was going to win that fight. It's going to jab him. It's going to spoil it. And there's nothing.
Sad, man. I hope Chamberlain gets back though, because he's actually a good prospect.
He is. He's a very good prospect.
Just going back to Bentley Cash, what you boys saying in terms of predictions? Then have you had enough time to think about how the fight is going to play out? Me personally, I have to back my boy. I have to back Bentley.
I'm backing Bentley UD. The odd makers have got it cash. They've got cash.
Yeah, slight favorite cash. Slight favorite. Yeah,
the slight favorite, but I'm backing Bentley, man. UD.
Yeah, same. I was always going to go UD because I just don't really see either of them getting stopped.
Yeah. Why do you think the bookmakers do have cash as favorite? Is it just like slightly a little bit more experience? Is that what it is? A bit further ahead in the road, maybe?
If you read something with the judges and with the bookmakers in the UK, and this was something that I used to eat off massively. Yeah, when it comes to fighters, is that, say for example, the public like lump on someone as a favorite just by eye, and they like that person, you will tend to find that person a favorite.
Yeah, I mean, look, a good example of that, although he wasn't a favorite, we'll get onto this in a minute. We probably should have started with it, actually, was the Andrade fight. I thought Andrade's price was way too big on the weekend. Yeah. And it was, I think a lot of British fans were probably just lumping on Williams just because he's British, and it was inflating Andrade's price.
And because of it, because when you get such a big influx of one fighter, they have to basically leverage it out. So that's when Andrade's price will get wider. So because things like that, I used to win big money because of it.
Yeah, but that's just the algorithm. That's just how it is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So it's not like someone sitting there thinking, "Oh yeah, statistically this guy's better than this person." It's just by betting patterns and stuff more so than anything.
Like these betting shops, they don't watch boxing. No, and I thought a lot of the people in Israel, they don't watch combat sports. Like that.
Your Bet365s, believe me, they'll have algorithms and analysis on all these fighters. Trust me.
But it's just based on stat rather than, but that stat can be distorted by betting patterns.
It can be, yeah, 100%. It can be distorted by about the amount of money on the market. But we'll go in Bentley UD then.
Yeah.
I look forward to your predictions in the prediction league. No changing them, because I'm on to you guys. Yeah,
I ain't changing. I ain't changing.
All right, cool.
To be fair, Samson made a mad prediction in our group chat today.
It's not a prediction. It's not a prediction.
Yeah, but then he changed it after like 35 seconds.
It's not a prediction. It's not a prediction. I'm just telling you.
What did you say? Billy Joe's gonna knock Canelo out?
I'm just telling you what's gonna happen. But that's not.
But it's not a prediction.
No.
Wait.
I'm gonna be rattled when that result comes through.
Man saw one picture of Billy Joe with his top off and just was like, yeah. Billy Joe's gonna do this, Billy Joe's gonna do this,
It was real
brick.
If you look at that interview,
Samson's a real
Billy Joe interview, look into that guy's eyes, bro. That's a guy that is like, he's obsessed with winning that fight. Like he's so transfixed in the idea of winning. The guy ranted for about 15 minutes about the judges because he knows he's gonna win, and they're gonna try and rob him the points. That year, when the man's talking like that, it's either to go out there and do the absolute business, like basically like Fury versus Wilder, or you get your head completely wiped off. And Billy Joe is good, so
Billy Joe is good. Billy Joe is good. I can't wait for that fight. That fight is going to be top. Another good fight, that happened over the weekend was Andrade against Williams, and look. I think we all had Andrade winning that fight pretty comfortably beforehand. No one went. No one went Williams. Some people went for an Andrade stoppage.
Some people had the early stoppage. I was thinking,
yeah, some people on a bit of a wind out, really and truly. But obviously, Samson, me and you, we were UD gang, were we?
Oh man, maximum points, baby.
Maximum points. Jide, sorry, Jide, how many points did you get, mate?
I got maximum, mate. You was angry at me for getting maximum.
Oh yeah, because you copied me, didn't you?
I'm still top, baby. I'm still
putting his last second.
I'm still top, baby.
Yeah, I forgot you copied my prediction. That's why I was angry. Yeah. All right, fair enough. Look, it was an interesting fight because Andrade came out on absolute smoke.
That's how he always starts his fight. He's a fast start.
He's a fast fighter, but in saying that,
very fast start.
He was lighting Williams all the way up.
Yeah.
Bro,
there was that uppercut that he was doing was insane, and
couldn't miss.
He couldn't miss.
At the start, he couldn't miss, but as soon as Williams got to him, that was not landing. That punch stopped landing.
I disagree. I think it was still landing right up into round 12.
Williams,
it wasn't landing.
The other was just tired. You can see he gassed out.
Hey, you got tired, but it's not just him gassing out. I feel like
Williams obviously
when he couldn't get Williams out of there. Like I said, remember I put in a group. He's not a finisher. Andrade can hit you. It's all nice, but he's not a finisher. When he couldn't get Williams out of there, and then when Williams rocked him, mentally, I feel like everything just changed.
You know what's funny? Yeah, I say it's probably every week about. You can be skilled, talented, or whatever, yeah, but there's a massive attribute which is just your will to win and your desire to win through that adversity, and winning that mental war gets a lot of people very, very far. That was complete on display with Williams. Even though he lost, it's like he lost the battle, but he won the war. He came on a hero basically because he lost well. If you get what I'm saying,
he rocked Andrade twice, at least twice in that fight. Rocked him.
He done way better than anyone could ever predict. Ever.
Yeah, it was. Look, I know we go on about British fighters, and the kind of, I don't want to call it, well, you guys might call it loser mentality. I'm going to back my British people in it and be like, look, it's just pride. Do you know what I mean? It's they go out on their shield, and I think Williams did a lot better than people certainly all of us expected him to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He outperformed. But I always do preface that Andrade is the sort of fighter, he fights to the level of his opponents. Like, obviously, he's not had many like big fights, but if you look at his fights, if you look at the fights he's had, depending on how he sees the threat, is how he performs. So if he doesn't rate you, he normally fights shit. But if he rates you, he fights a lot better. Fury. Billy Joe Saunders, Fury, they're all the same.
Just saying the stars are landing here, guys. I'm telling you guys.
I'm telling you, Canelo is gonna. Firstly, he's not got his judges. Number one. Number two.
Let's stay on track, Jimmy. Let's stay on track. Let's stay on track.
In there every time, so you can see when it happens. Don't be surprised. I told you.
We've got enough time to talk about Billy Joe and Canelo. Believe me.
Yeah. So back to Andrade. The thing about him, again, good fighter. I feel like, in that fight, you saw his good and bad parts. So the good parts, great jab, good combination. His 1-2 is really good. He changes it up. He's got decent ring generalship, all that nice stuff. His bad parts is lack of concentration. He gets tired. The tired thing, I feel like it's more because he hasn't fought the weight. Number one, he needs to go to 168 in my opinion, but the weight is not one. And the other one is he's not fought in like 2 years, so he's not got that ring sharpness, which is fine. But he loses concentration a lot. And I feel like when he's fighting the elite guys again, but because like I said earlier, he fights to the level of his opponent, maybe it might not be as much of an issue. But if he has that sort of lapse against a Charlo or Canelo, it's like that. You're going to sleep. GGG, listen, GGG is an old man. There's a reason GGG is not trying to fight any of these, man. He's not stupid. He knows his chin is.
Are you sure?
I am positive. GGG is not trying to fight Andrade. All these guys.
I think Andrade is like class, yeah. But at the same time, and as much as I know you're gonna come and you're gonna get onto it and talk about basically everyone's liking him and whatnot.
Yeah.
Don't you feel like You went over to Matchroom. You was complaining you didn't get the fights. No one wants to fight you. You go on Matchroom. You had Eddie Hearn on your staple. You have a plethora of people in the same weight class, all in and around you. Top names. They all got on.
Yeah.
None of them fought you.
Because
at some point we've got to say, is it you? Like, are you part of the issue as well? Like, are you putting too many obstacles in here? Because how is it everyone's fighting each other, but not?
No. He definitely has some part to play. So, for example, really early in their careers, Jamal Charlo and Andrade were meant to fight. They were meant to fight early, like way back, but both sides it didn't work. Like Andrade didn't like the terms that were being offered or whatever.
Yeah.
It didn't happen, and this was really early in their careers, isn't it? So maybe they should have fought. Like I said, these guys should always fight earlier, but whatever, it didn't happen. During his career, as you said he's tried to get these fights, but we know boxing's a business. It's what can you give me for the risk that you amount to?
Yeah. And some of his performances is part of the reason as well. Like some of them were
of course, he's not got like a massive fan base. That's the problem. If you're a fighter and you're good, or you're risky, you're dangerous, and you haven't got a massive fan base. For example, Michael Hunter, he's suffering from that right now.
Rigondeaux
was one that
Rigondeaux's the worst, man.
Rigondeaux the blackboard. Like, you see these sort of fighters that are tricky, not invincible, but they're tricky and they don't bring in much money.
It's the risk for reward is off balance, basically.
And that's essentially what Andrade falls into. He's a rangy, tall southpaw that has got good. Like, he is all wrong for Billy Joe Saunders. Like, completely, he ruins Billy Joe. Billy Joe, Billy Joe has no chance in that fight. He has zero chance in that fight.
What do you? So obviously they spoke about after the fight. They spoke about, Eddie Hearn was like calling out. Well, Eddie was calling out everyone.
Yeah.
Is he? Because Charlo's still at middleweight, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Charlo's fighting some next waste man, some guy nobody here knows about.
In June or something, right?
Yeah. DC role. He's fighting some guy no one cares about. So he's gonna just do what he does. Then he's gonna, after he wins that fight, because he was meant to fight. Remember, because he said, basically the reason this fight came into fruition was he was talking crazy about going to 168 for Canelo. And David Benavidez said, "I'm at 168. I want to fight you. What are you saying?" Then Charles like, "Oh, you're a young boy. I'm not trying to fight you." So he didn't want to fight David Benavidez because he knew it's kind of long, innit? So he's now back at 160. Now he's got to find who can I fight at 160.
Yeah, because there isn't like an abundance of people at 160, right? No. Everyone's at super middle.
Everyone's at super middle, and the guys at 160, they're not trying to fight each other. Like I said, GGG, you said earlier, GGG he's on his retirement plan. The guy is guaranteed 30 million a fight or whatever the Dazn are offering him, and he's like, why am I gonna fight these dangerous guys? I'm making like guaranteed peas. This is me chilling. I'm good.
I think though that some of the mistakes that Andre was making, honestly, he can't do that against GGG, man.
No.
All that dip in your head, all that dip in his head, though. That cross hook of GGG's guy right over the top is smacking him right down.
And also, if you run out of gas against GGG, I think GGG would just take you out in the later rounds.
I completely agree with you, man, except this is not the 34, 35, 36-year-old GGG. We saw this GGG against, I forgot who the guy was, that he looked absolutely trash.
He's also good, man.
No, that guy was shit. The guy that Charlo fought.
Novichenko, he lost that fight.
Mate, GGG, he stuck it on GGG. He was never meant to look that good. He hurt GGG. We've never seen GGG hurt. He hurt GGG. That's how you know GGG's chin is starting to have some wear and tear. He's an old man, so he hasn't got the most fast twitch muscles or the most reactive. So
no, but he doesn't rely. He's never relied on that. He's always relied on basic.
He hasn't, but he gets hit. That's what I'm trying to say. He gets hit. He lets his chin.
He's always been getting hit. That's his problem. He's Terminator. The guy just eats for punches.
Cool. And then he got hurt against Davydenko, and now you want to go and do that against my guy Andrade. It's not good. It's just not a great idea. There's a reason why Abel Sanchez wasn't interested in Andrade back in the day. There's a reason why these guys were not trying to fight him. Again, like we said, high risk, low reward.
I heard that, and I do rate Andre highly, but I just don't see it, man. Like it's not like to me.
He's 33. He's peak for him. He's finished. I can't lie to you. He's finished.
Yeah, like I just look at him and think, you're not you don't present the same issues that other fighters that are darked have. Like when people talk about, I'm not going to say their names, but you know what I'm talking about. There's other fighters that people in other divisions that people are avoided, and it's unified. Like it's a unified degree that everyone agrees that you can see. Wow, with Andrade, I look at him and think you're beatable.
He's beatable.
I think Williams showed that you can get to Andrade. You know,
Yeah,
you need a bit more skill.
This is not trying to disrespect Williams, but I've seen Williams tear through some guys that I know that personally that and actually rip their head off. But at that world level, Williams shouldn't be even touching Andrade in my opinion. It should have been rounds 1, 2, and 3, and that till about 6, and the towel gets thrown in. That's what I was expecting. Like once that fight started, thinking, "Whoa, this guy's really come out to smoke him." But then it was like the golfing levels didn't look too mad.
Wait, the golfing levels actually started to get closer. I felt, come round 7, the back end of the fight.
A Charlo, a GGG. You've been personally calling out Canelo for the God knows how long. Maybe it's a good thing you haven't met Canelo, in my opinion.
So, who would you like to see Andrade fight next? Then,
Anyone.
Would you like to see him go up?
I would like to see him fight GGG or Charlo, but it'll never happen. That's what I want. I feel like I need Matchroom to use their engine, whatever they've got, to force the zone to stick it on GGG. Like that's the only. If he doesn't get, because he's not gonna get Charlo, like them boys. We know what PBC Island's like, so forget about that. So right now he's in the same. He's in the same.
We need to go through these clips and see how many times Jide said this sentence, because he says it at least 3 times.
I'm gonna keep saying it until everyone knows the deal. Like they fight. They've got. We see the Super League. Remember, we're saying the closed shop. That's PBC. But anyway.
What about someone like Danny like going up and fighting someone like Danny Jacobs?
I would like that, but I hate this bullshit.
Anyone, absolutely
him and Danny Jacobs are friends.
Hey,
I hate that,
man.
I hate that.
Oh, are they close? Are they?
Yeah, they say they're close and they won't fight each other. I hate that shit. Like,
what about like like one of the Russians, like Chudanov?
See, that does nothing for him. He needs a fight that
he needs a staple name. He needs a staple name.
He needs names, man. That does nothing.
Actually, to be fair, I just clocked. Yeah, Chudanov drew his last fight against Chilemba. What? All right. Okay. Anyway, moving on swiftly. Yeah. So look, it was a really good fight. Just going back to the fight itself, it was a really, really good fight, and I think maybe Williams comes out. It's one of those weird ones where I feel like Williams comes out of the fight with more credit than Andrade, despite losing. It's like just one of those kind of strange things where I guess Andrade, he showed us a side of him, but he can, when he is being put under a bit of pressure, he can, show a bit of heart, I guess. But the golfing class between them was evident on the night, I guess.
Yeah, when Andrade was good, he was super good, and when he was bad, they looked closer than they should be. I don't want to say he was that super bad because he still got the job done, innit?
Yeah,
he still had enough to negate what Williams was doing. So, well done to Williams for, I guess, making it competitive. That's all it was, really, truly. That's what he's getting applauded for making it competitive.
Yeah,
it's mad.
But hey, listen, that's what we want, right? We want competitive fights, though. We don't want too many times Brits have gone over to America and just rolled over. So, look, like we can sit here and say, oh, X, Y, Z, but at least it was competitive because nobody's trying to see, walkovers of, people winning on points by, a huge margin. And even though Andrade did win the fight by quite a big margin on the scorecards, I felt like a lot of the rounds were quite close towards the back end. So yeah. All right, cool. Let's move on from that. Let's talk a bit about the big news of the week, which has obviously been this whole Matchroom Dazn groundbreaking contract.
It was pending.
Sorry?
It was pending, man. I think we said it at some point in the group chat. I remember when Ryan Garcia's fight was on, and it was £2.99 and £1.99. I can't remember the prices. All I know is that it's cheap as chips. Yeah,
I think it is £1.99.
they
Or
said
no, yeah, £1.99. Yeah.
I remember in our chat was like, hey, Eddie needs to move this shit over all the way over, so all of us can enjoy this, even though it's gonna be short lived because that price is gonna go straight
Going
through.
straight to £14.99. As soon as July 1st hits, £14.99.
But if it means I'm
We're
gonna
getting good fight.
Johnny Nelson again, I can't lie. Run me that.
No,
Just so you don't have to listen to Johnny Nelson again.
it's calm, and I feel like how it was done by Eddie and his dad was perfect. So
You got
dad,
it.
yeah. So obviously his dad and Sky, they sort of like the relationship
Pockets, yeah.
You know what I mean? So instead of Eddie's dad just ducking out on Sky, he let his contract expire. Then he retired from Matchroom activities, gave it to Eddie. So
Radical son.
do you know what I mean? So it could be a perfect, as in like we both left amicably. The contract just ended. I'm retiring. I love you, Sky. You know what I mean? Because he's not just taking boxing to the zone. That's what people need to clock. He's taking everything. He's taking darts. He's taking snooker because Matchroom do a lot of stuff. So all their business is going to the zone. That's why it's 9 figures. It's not just boxing. So
although boxing is a huge part.
Boxing is probably the biggest part of it, but it's just the implication for Sky. Sky are rattled, in my opinion.
They must have known this because I remember even earlier in the year they was talking about the fact that the boxing, the whole thing was coming up for review. So they must have known that. I didn't
know if I was talking. Good competition is good to have more competition. I was like, nah, nigga, you don't.
Hey, you know what? As they say, dinosaurs were made extinct a long time ago. Shame.
He did not mean.
What do you think Sky do from here? Do you think they completely knock boxing on the head, or?
Yeah, I think eventually it's gonna be they're gonna try force it, but what they're gonna try to do is get MTK global. But MTK don't have the clout. They don't have the stable to make.
Yeah, but to be fair, neither did Matchroom win when Eddie first came across, right? So and Sky is still a massive broadcaster.
You're right.
MTK is already with BT. They're tied up.
No, they ain't got exclusivity with BT, bro.
No, because they fight on Channel 5 as well sometimes, right?
They do shows wherever they get shows, bro. Like it's not exclusive. So MTK is only Warren.
It's only Warren who's got the broadcaster deal with BT.
Yeah, MTK are fluid, and that's what I'm saying. So they got MTK, they got Sauerland, and they can basically just do like they used to do, which is do shows like different promoters come towards them and say, I want to do a show, and they're like, yeah, here's the budget or whatnot. So Sky can still be around, but it's peak for them because Matchroom are where if you're a British prospect, everyone's in boxing for money, right? You're gonna go where the money's at. Matchroom.
And the money was at Matchroom before, and now they've gone to the zone. It's like, wow, do you know what I mean?
So they're gonna have a monopoly.
It's European Super League things there.
they're gonna have like obviously not a complete monopoly, but they're gonna have most of the best British prospects. Obviously, the mid and average British prospects, Queensbury and maybe MTK and these other guys can have them, and maybe one or two they can snap them up.
What are you trying to say? Everyone on Queensbury is jumping over. That will jump in ship.
We're here for money, bro. If I was a boxer, I don't give 2 fucks about who's the promoter. This is not. They're not
straight on the blower to Eddie, yeah. Hey, Eddie. Congrats on the Dazn deal, Eddie.
I'll be like, yo, Eddie, listen, my deal with Warren, 2 more fights. Listen, have the zone thing lined up for me. I'm coming.
Everybody's waiting for 2 more fights. Sir, get me out of that contract.
I'm here.
So, what implications does this have? So, I'm reading that the deal comes into place from July 1st.
Oh, swear! Whoa, wait. What about AJ Fury then?
Exactly.
No, that's the on Sky.
So that's gonna still be on Sky.
Yeah.
But then what happens after that fight? Does AJ go with Dazn, or what's happening with that?
If I was AJ, what I'll do is I'll flirt with both. Like so. Yeah, essentially, exactly.
Sky are gonna have to do everything they can to keep AJ on Sky, right? Like,
that's what
personally, what I think is gonna happen is AJ is gonna move over to the Dazn. I personally think that's what's gonna happen. That's the sort of guy he is. I feel like it's White that should stay with Sky. under no circumstance should Dillian White go to the because
Well, you're saying he should be the main guy for Sky.
Yeah, be the main guy for Sky. So Sky will pump you and push you like they did AJ. And because you're the biggest draw and you're their money man, like you become, and most of the British public know about Sky. They don't really know about the zone. I'm talking about casuals, like the boxing fans. We know about the zone, but the casuals know about Sky. They think, oh, big fight tonight, Sky box office. So if you're Dillian White, it makes sense to be the main guy for Sky because they will push you and it will definitely help you in securing the fights and the financial rewards down the line.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
I'm thinking about it as well. Like he's got his own stable with Chris Congo, with the heavyweight that's all flashy or whatever his name is. I keep forgetting.
Woodley. Then you got Richard thing as well. What's his name again?
Paul.
Yeah, Paul.
So he's got his own stable. So if he's the main guy at Sky, all of these guys are going to get pushed. All of these guys are going to get opportunities.
I'm not too clued up with how this is going to play out, so I'm kind of happy to see how
it's going to be interesting, right? I think it's gonna allow someone to have a good opportunity, providing Sky still want to plunge resources into it. Like I think someone like Eddie, he makes it very easy for broadcasters to just be like, look, trust me, I'm going to deliver. It's going to open up an opportunity for someone, but maybe Sky might be a little bit reluctant at first to
rebuild.
I think there isn't too many people out there with like proven track records. Sky are just gonna happily part money with, but at the same time they're gonna lose a lot of ground if they don't.
That's a massive chunk of revenue just getting wiped right off their PN. So I'm getting all that accounting on the road, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, no, 100%.
They do reply to Chris. They do have independent contracts, so they are not part of like the move to the zone. But we're just speculating on what happens. So if I was AJ, so AJ can essentially say, I'm going to still keep fighting on Sky in the UK and the zone everywhere else, or I can just go to the zone. Like he's got that relationship with the zone and he can demand crazy money.
So it would benefit him just to keep that independence, right?
It benefits him to go to the zone because he can demand. He's, like we said, he's the cash cow outside of the US in boxing, right? They launched with AJ the face. Now they've got Canelo, yeah. But it's basically Canelo and AJ. They 1A, 1B. So if he fully commits, he can ask for crazy money. That's what I'm saying. If I'm AJ, that's what I would do. However, if I'm Dillian, because again, I can choose to go with Sky or the zone. I can choose to keep it independent. And that's what I'll do. If I was Dillian, I'll say the zone keeps streaming my fights in the US in your platform and I'll just run Sky. I'll make Sky my thing. Do you get what I mean? That's what I'll do.
But then they didn't have the fights in him to gander the interest down the long haul now.
This big fight. If Dillian secures the Wilder fight, that will be a massive coup for Sky. Like and for me, that should be what he's aiming at. He should fight for that Wilder fight or the winner of AJ Fury, whatever. But the Wilder fight,
and potentially maybe there's a bit more money there for if AJ is off the books per se. Does that free up cash then to to invest in other fighters? In terms of budgeting?
For sure, yeah. They're gonna have to find the gap that profitability was. So they're not just gonna say, okay, we've just lost this source of revenue that we know that we would have gathered from two AJ fights a year. They've got to try and find something that's gonna generate some sort of revenue rather than just lose that in its entirety. So yeah, for sure, there's gonna be some sort of opportunity that will arise. And it's just for maybe there's a lot of, I don't know, my mind's automatically thinking about some of the white collar people that I know that kind of put on fights in and around around my way that I can think of that kind of work with that MTK and stuff like that. So there's definitely opportunities for sure.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's going to be interesting stuff. Like I do enjoy these kind of these moves because I think it shakes things up. Like whether Adam Smith believes it or not.
I hate when it's like a monopoly situation, even with the fact that Sky looking at Sky losing its stranglehold on the whole sports across the board.
I love
Kind
it.
of good to see, Timothy.
I love
Yeah,
it.
no, it is good. It is good. I know Sky threw out their, threw their toys out of the pram with the whole ESL news this week. I don't like, monopolies, and I like the fighters to get paid as much as they can. So anything that goes in the direction of the fighters, I'm completely here for. As long as the fighters get paid, I'm all for it. And I think Dazn have shown they're willing to put their money where their mouth is and pay fighters. So that's good, man. And that's not to say Sky weren't paying the fighters, because I know Sky were 100% paying the fighters well. But anything that puts more money into the fighters' pockets, hey, that's aces for me, man. That's aces
for me as well. Dazn put on they've just invested a lot more, in my opinion, into the boxing and as a whole. You see, if you can go on there at any point in time, and you can watch some really good documentaries. There's like a podcast on there every week as well.
Yeah.
I want the names.
If Dazn is awesome value for money. If you're a boxing fan, you're getting boxing content, you're getting combat content consistently. Right now for us is $1.99. Even if it goes up to $15.99, you're paying for great fights, because again, Matchroom, they put on more fights than everyone else. So you're gonna get international cards. You're gonna see prospects all over the gaff. You're gonna see, as you said, all these podcasts, these documentaries. You're gonna see fight rewinds. You're gonna see all these things that with Sky you might not get to see. It's drowned out with boxing, with F1 and all these other stuff that you're paying 70 quid a month for. You'll get all your boxing content or combat, because they have MMA as well and whatever, for 15 quid or $1.99. Like, it's a no-brainer.
What was that paying for Box Nation at one point? Like £12?
£12, yeah. And that was like for a fight every 3 months or something.
Bro,
right?
every couple months I keep asking myself, why the hell am I paying for this?
Are Box Nation still about?
They are, but funny enough, I don't know why.
They're still about.
When was the last fight they had on Box Nation?
Mate, they must be struggling.
They're in the ropes. I don't know.
Do they still have that dodgy background?
Probably.
Whenever I used to fight on whenever I used to watch a fight on Box Nation, I used to think the coverage is so bad, man. Fucking hell. Like terrible coverage. I'm so glad we've come away from those dark days, man. Because Dazn know how to put on a show as well, so it's good. It's good from all aspects, I think. But yeah, any other things to cover before we wrap things up?
Boy, just got to roll onto the fight week, isn't it?
Well, there's the news, the rumor of PBC, my favorite people, the contract with Fox being up, and they're basically using the bullshit fight between Mayweather and Logan Paul. Supposedly, PBC are using that as leverage to renew their Fox deal. And then, wait, can you hear that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, dude. One sec.
Perfect timing. Absolutely perfect timing, because I don't even know what he's talking about, but I know it's from BBC standards, so that was great.
If you're not watching the YouTube right now, Jide was just screaming at his family like, "Shut the fuck up!"
It's not BBC slander, but yeah, like I was saying, so they said that there were obviously the deals coming up to an end, and they're saying they're using the Logan Paul and whatnot as leverage to try and get a new deal from Fox, because if you see the new PBC lineup, most of it has been on Showtime, not on Fox. So Fox ain't getting that's what I was saying to Leroy and them, man, in a group. Spence doing 250k pay-per-view is shit. Fox ain't happy with that. Fox ain't happy with pumping their money to these guys and not getting their return. So they're like, fuck the PBC, fuck these guys. We're not good value for money.
Do you think they're making losses on these fights then?
Of course. The most they've made, was the Fury Wilder 2 pay-per-view, which, like we said, did about supposedly around 800k, right? But that wasn't just them. That was them and ESPN. So they had to split that. So your most single pay-per-view seller is Spence. But the most single pay-per-view seller was Spence on like 300k. So they're not making the money that would make this deal worth it for them. So yeah, they're cutting ties with the PBC. So that's why the PBC have moved all their schedule back to Showtime, and they're trying to use this Mayweather Logan Paul bullshit to launch that all over again.
I don't know what agenda you're trying to run here. All I know is
No,
that.
but it's not agenda. Like, go look at. Like I said, the PBC.
You said you started the thing with room. You started the thing with rumor. I don't play the rumors.
But the rumor is validated by what you see. Look at the PBC schedule.
Did we just see
what show is on Fox?
Go right. A whole bunch of fighters here that are
now. They've got 200 fighters. Go right. They've got about 200 fighters. I want you to do this homework. Go right now and tell me what the next fights are on Fox. I know what's on Showtime, and I know they ain't been on Showtime for 2 years. Since they had the Fox deal, they've not had any fights on Showtime for 2 years. I know this, but all of a sudden they've got all their fights back on Showtime and no fights on Fox. So
I don't really care about the networking.
Oh, of course not. Oh, yeah. I'm just saying, they're not making money.
Question: how many fights here that have been put on now that are coming up here that were quality fights? I saw what came up in the group chat. There was a good number of decent fights, right?
Well, for the PBC schedule,
yeah,
they got like one or two.
Go on. Who?
I can't. I have to go check it. No, I don't know the exact fights, but they do have one or two good fights.
So there was a couple of fights here that you think that's a good fight, yeah?
Yeah, one or two. I'm being serious. Most of them are not good fights. So, for example, the Charlo Undisputed fight, that's a great fight. The 54 fight, that's for me is the standout fight. And apart from that, I think they got another one, but the rest of them are mismatches and bullshit fights like fucking Tank versus Rabbit. Like, come on, man, that's a shit fight. Like, they have a lot of shit.
He's jumping up to 140. Like, he's fighting
a regular champion.
You're actually shameless.
I'm just saying, like, he's jumped to 140.
How much are PBC paying you?
I get paid
probably not much, to be fair.
If I was getting paid by PBC, we'd all know because I'd be sitting here flipping Versace's data cycle. Who knows? Everyone over there seems to join PBC and get paid.
Hey, listen, you gotta have your agendas. Anyway, guys, I think we'll leave it there. Yeah, I think we'll leave it there. All right, so Lewis, someone just moved behind me. Who moved behind me?
Oh, Ghost.
Yeah, we'll why am I even checking? I'm home alone. Someone's got me shook. Yeah, we'll leave it there, guys. Remember to use the hashtag Ringside Fracas and leave a review on Apple and iTunes, all that stuff. If you're watching on YouTube, press subscribe and like. And we'll be back next week, guys. Take it easy.
Share our content, man. We need to get out.
Please
share, man. Get the Ringside boys out there, man. You'll see us in a few Matchroom shows and PBC. I'll be the PBC.
We're gonna get Julian the PBC hoodie.
Get me a listen. You know what? If AJ, no. Let me see what fight can I. Now we'll do the bet. Listen, if a PBC guy fights a non-PBC guy that I like and wins, I'll wear a PBC hoodie, man. You see me champion.
Right, we need that bit on ASAP.
Don't worry, man. It depends on the fight, though. I'm not gonna obviously do a mismatch, but yeah, let's go.
Calm.
All right, then, guys. Take it easy.
Take it easy, boys.